get out now very quickly, okay? Because you people are the fucking cause of this now.
Yeah, all right.
So get out.
Okay. No, you're not the cause.
Don't come and talk shit to me now.
How on earth will they understand what I'm saying to them if they are treated this way? They are being brutalized. What sense of justice will they ever have if they are treated this way? And nowadays, they are going to release these children piecemeal. Most of their parents are migrant workers. They're hardly here. They'll be coming once a month. Does it mean those children are going to rot? I offered to pay bail for them, and they are refusing bail.
But is the police willing to see you about this?
No, I spoke there, and I was just dismissed. Instead, I was threatened. I was threatened with force.
And why are they picked up now, these children?
They hardly know. We have asked them what the charge is. They don't tell us what the charge
And
is.
how old are the children?
Most of them are from 7 years.
Upwards.
If you meet a 21-year-old kid there, we call him an old person. They are just babies. That is why I can't take it.
Are the parents allowed to see the children?
They are not allowing. They are calling the tune. The parents are not allowed to see the children. They must wait until the officers themselves are satisfied that the parents are biological parents. And that cuts through our African tradition. Any child is my child, and my child, any elder is their parent. It seems as though it is a sin to bring a child on earth. It seems as though it's a crime. I feel guilty as a parent. Why did I bring children that I cannot protect, who must be brutalized like this?
It's an international conference. We have, in fact, 30 nations sending delegations. And there are powerful delegations of lawyers, of doctors, of social workers, of religious leadership. Almost every aspect of the spectrum will be represented. This conference could, in a peculiarly strong and definite way, focus attention on apartheid and unite world opinion. It will be a conference which for the first time will give the people from within South Africa the opportunity to make their voice heard.
My mother and my uncle were in the kitchen, and the rest of them were in the dining room, and I went to the bedroom to get something for my aunt's baby. So when I was in the bedroom, I heard a bang noise, and I left the bedroom to go check what's happening, and I saw a soldier was shooting. They killed my aunt, they shot my uncle on his arm, and my mom and my sister and my friends managed to run.
But you couldn't run?
No, because I was on the floor, laying on the floor. They shot me, and I couldn't wake up.
Firstly, the electric shocks, those that they are using, they are like a rubber suit, and they put you inside it. And so at first...
That's like a diving suit?
Yeah, a diving suit. And then at first
Did they cover your head?
My head was covered, I couldn't see anything. So at first they put the DM inside my mouth so that maybe I could not scream. And then from there, my clothes were taken off and I was put into a fridge again. And from the fridge I was taken...
Have you any idea how long you were left in the fridge?
In the fridge it was also something like 30 minutes also. And then from the fridge I was taken back to the rubber suit again. And then even there I stayed for a long period again. Then after From the rubber suit, I was taken back to that room with the bright searchlights. Actually, in that room which they are having searchlights, there is a pole, and then they tied my legs behind that pole, and even my hands, even my head, so that I could not I could not remove my head from those searchlights, and then they brightened them straight into my face.
And has that left you with any after effects? Can you see all right?
No, even at present, I'm still undergoing the medical treatment for the eyes.
So, can you see?
I cannot even read at this present juncture.
Now, the torturing that they meted out to you, has it had any effect on you?
No.
No. Now, you are now in Tanzania studying, not so?
Yes.
What do you want to do after your studies?
I want to learn. After learning, I want to go to South Africa and continue the fight.
Our century has witnessed some of the worst atrocities in all human history, perpetrated by people who considered themselves good, upright, and unconquerable. But in the end, humanity has itself judged these, regardless of their opinion of themselves. And once more, the peoples have judged that those who uphold the apartheid system are committing a crime against humanity itself. The Afrikaner poet Ingrid Jonker died in 1965 at the young age of 32. Consumed by a dark foreboding and overwhelmed by despair, she committed suicide as her creative intellect was coming to its ripening. By her death, she joined herself to the children of our country about whom she had written. Her tragic passing was a powerful indictment of the apartheid system, as were these verses which she has left us. And I quote, "The child is not dead. The child lifts his fist against his mother, who shouts, 'Africa,' shouts the breath of freedom and felt in the locations of the cordoned heart. The child is not dead. Not at Langa, nor at Nyanga, not at Orlando, nor at Sharpeville, nor at the police post at Philippi, where he lies with a bullet through his brain. The child is the dark shadow of the soldiers on guard with their rifles, Saracens and batons. The child is present at all assemblies and law-giving. The child peers through the windows of houses and into the hearts of mothers. This child who wanted only to play in the sun at Nyanga is everywhere. The child is grown to a man and treks on through all Africa. The child grown into a giant journeys over the whole world without a pass."
Got a comrade here. The name is William Mudibedi. He's 11 years old. He lives in Krugersdorp. William, how long were you in detention?
2 months, 2 days. Only one talk.
Has anything like this happened to your friends?
Then I was electric charge.
The Reverend Dr. Masakai will have a short talk with William's mother.
November. Fa ke mona ka 26 November ke kreile go ba motsitse meno ka fana le ka fana a futlogile sa khone go bua ke mona ka Krugersdorp go Thabile.
The children of South Africa, particularly black children, are denied their right to be children. Children are in other countries are actually able to live as children, be children until they become adults. But our children are forced violently by conditions in the country to be adults before their time. They are put in a situation where they have to make decisions which are meant to be normally made by adults. When my 6-year-old was then about 5.5, and we were preparing him to go to school, one day he said to us, and I was with his mother, out of the blue, when the police attack in the school, I'll jump the fence. Now, it shows that whilst we are preparing for this child to go to school, that child is beginning to work out exactly how you survive in this violent situation.
I'm a nice chap. No, you got a gun in your pocket. It's not a gun. You never know that thing that you hold in it could have an automatic machine gun inside it. Yeah!
How old are you, Marcus?
16 years old.
Who hit you like? Who did this to you? Who hit you?
Policeman.
They were hit in the house, hit on the road, and hit in jail. Please notice, these are epithelializing. Those are yield. So again, they were beaten up at different stages.
Before Sophia Pro, was change a line mobile garage. Last year long as a Funda Center, but fight here case tracking.
One of them, he took out a warrant and showed him. So they went in, they just pushed in like this. There were three. We want Valley. It's Valley here. Yes, Valley's here. And they went into the dining room. Valley was sleeping with his uncle. So they asked me, where's Valley? I said, this is Valley. And then they asked another boy, do you know Valley? And then he said, yes, Valley is my friend. We were all this afternoon at the youth club.
Bastata basisa erum endaweni mhlambe engangani. Bafika khona bashaba senzisa ama exercise. Bashutisa ama blackboard amancane nga. Bathi sobambe sobabhala 110. Basolo bashuta bakubambe babhale futhi 110. Bashuta babhala igama bashuta babhale 110. Basolo basibambe bathi hloki bheke phansi inyawo ziphezulu ungabambezelanga ndaba. Basikhaba la. Baswela phansi bayastroke. Babaze emva kwe 1 month ukuthi sise Sun City. Bona bebathi se protein kanti sise Sun City.
Sometimes in the bedroom so the children mustn't see, you know, I used to cry. Thinking that how does he sleep? What does he eat? Is he washing? Or he's dirty? I didn't know anything about him.
Yes, and then there are other types of things that are happening to children where they're not detained,
where they're being charged with public violence, say, for throwing stones and that sort of thing. For example, last year there was the case of an 8-year-old who was charged with intimidation, and that 8-year-old was refused bail, if you can believe such a thing. Then we had an 11-year-old who was charged with stoning a vehicle, and he was held for 2.5 months in prison, awaiting trial. He was refused bail twice, and the third application that went to the Supreme Court was successful. But that little boy of 11 spent 2.5 months in a cell with grown-up criminals. Now, what effect can that have? I mean, when he came out, he was having nightmares, and he was really very badly affected by what had happened to him.
William is really unhappy in his crime, and he really doesn't want the people to have a look at him. So I think that we won't examine him in front of everybody. What you saw here was classical symptoms of post-traumatic stress syndrome. You have a child that, to all appearances, is quite normal, and yet when you start asking him questions about his thoughts, which invariably are intrusive thoughts about the time of his detention, any event that may have happened to him in detention, he has difficulty in relating to his peers and to his parents. He gave good evidence of the fact that it jumps and startles when somebody knocks on the door of the house, or when a car drives past or stops. He said it wakes him up and he gets anxious when that happens. Now, we have found this a very consistent feature of everybody virtually who's been ill.
I want to go to school, but in school premises the police are they are in school, and our school is not secured, so that I can't go to school, because each and every time maybe I will be arrested.
From in the morning until in the sunset, I'm not at home. You see, I'm scarce. I'm coming only at home at night when I'm just going to sleep, because these policemen are coming all the time at home to come and see me if I am there or I'm not there, you see.
I want to go sleep or sleep at home because the police now, they are after me. They are after me, and most of the people in our township, they are
kids who are on the run, and we do not know where to keep them, because if you keep them in one place, like Bishop Nkwani is here, tried in Welgespreid, then they come in their military might and attack those children there. Some tried to put children somewhere else in El Dorado Park, and those children were detained, that the police came and detained them. So we really do not know where to put them. So our ministry, the Ministry of the Council of Churches, has now to operate almost semi-underground. Because for you to minister to a child who's on the run, you will then need to minister to that child in such a way that that child cannot be picked up.
The child that leaves South Africa today has to go through experiences which no or very few adults would undertake due to the hazards and dangers that he has to face. No papers of identification, wounded through torture, depressed by losing his parents, not giving parents the information about his whereabouts, not taking farewell from his mother or his brothers and sisters. He is in flight, continuously in a state of anxiety, with heartbeats that he can't control, waiting to reach an unknown destination, not knowing whether he's going to meet friends or foes, not knowing whether he's going to be arrested by police, not knowing whether he's going to die on this journey. But finally, he reaches some sort of destination. And fortunately for us, the ANC has organized itself to such an extent that it is able today to receive some of these children and youth that are escaping from South Africa, to save their lives, to save themselves from being arrested and put into prison. 53% suffer from anxiety neurosis needing psychiatric intervention.
Most of them have nightmares, and some of them don't really associate well with other children. And some of them just react very wildly.
We are trying to create here, in very simple terms, a new person, a new type of South African who will be dedicated to democratic values, who will be non-racist in his or her activities and her perception of society, and also be committed to social justice.
They came at home and took all my books from my study room, beat my mother, and the children also harassed at home. So my mother advised me not to come at home because they promised that they'll come back at night, and when they find me, there's a possibility that they can kill me or do whatever they like with me. So I decided it's better for me to leave the country because I can't run away every day from the police.
So I cannot go ahead. Ah, man, hey. How?
We find that the children just really are more determined to take up the issues than they were before. Because in some instances where the children weren't even political and were taken into detention, they have come out politicized.
There has been resistance against band education. There's been resistance against forced removals. There's been resistance against the imposition of the community councils and all the whole range, of repressive measures, which is a traditional role, of course. Our youth has never lagged behind in the struggle. Way back from the days of the formation of the ANC Youth League, the Nelson Mandelas, the Walter Sisulus, the Tambos, and the Limbedas. Now, these were the people who injected, a spirit of militancy in the ANC, and who gave the ANC, in a way, the complexion that it has today. So what we're seeing today in South Africa, by way of involvement of our youth in the struggle in the manner they are, is a continuation of what we have seen in preceding decades. There is no way in which that regime can ever reverse that situation. There is no way in which that regime can ever defeat, the fighting spirit of our young people. We have faced death, we have looked death into its face and confronted the enemy with stones, with sticks, and even with guns at times. Now, this mood of defiance, this temper of no surrender to the fascists, is born of the objective situation in South Africa. It is the fascist clique in South Africa itself that is mobilizing the type of resistance that we're seeing in South Africa today.
Our children are being killed every day since more than 10 years ago. Even now, we are burying every day, and they even want to tell us how to bury and how many people should attend the funerals. According to our tradition, everybody has the right to attend the funeral. So the children are united, and they are not going to give up. And we are behind our children.
I would like to appeal to all mothers of the world, to fight for the people's power. And we must fight hand in hand with our children, with our husbands, to achieve what we want. Forward to the people's power. Amanda.
We will be telling Ronald Reagan, we'll be telling Margaret Thatcher that we are sick and tired of the killing of our people. They've got a hand, the Reagan administration got a hand in their continued support of the South African government in the killing of these youngsters. They've got a hand in the American and the American administration and the Thatcher administration. We therefore are clearly and aware of the fact that this death couldn't happen without the Reagan supporting the South African government. It has been going on for over 18 months. It's too long.
I should say that the presentations, and especially the testimony by the children who have been brutalized and tortured and detained in South Africa, make it clearer to us than ever before that we must all intensify our efforts to expose the horrors of the apartheid regime, especially with respect to the treatment it metes out to children and young people. Of course, we in the United States have a special responsibility because it is with the overt assistance of the Reagan administration that the Botha regime continues to perpetrate these cruelties on the children.
Western governments can now no longer claim ignorance of what is being done to the children of South Africa. The consistency and the frequency of the evidence, the wealth of detail and the sheer number of examples makes the case an overwhelming one and a very, very compelling one. It is our responsibility now to help to present that case to the world and to make governments, like the one in the country where I live, in Britain, act.
And to the children themselves, South Africa belongs to all who live in it. It is the brutalization of black children, is the brutalization of the future of all South African children. Therefore, they must stand in solidarity with their fellow citizens, their black brothers and sisters. Ultimately, the future belongs to all of us in South Africa.
If